Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Kim Quady with KimPlaysWithPaper.com. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Mesa, Arizona, and I go live each Tuesday morning at 8:30 a.m. Arizona time, and right now we're in Pacific time. So look for me here every Tuesday morning at 8:30 a.m. Good morning, Iris. Thanks for popping in today. I have, with Stampin' Up!, I have a team of people who've joined me in their paper crafting journeys, and we're called Kim's Paper Crafters. And each month, a different member of our team is in charge of issuing a challenge for that month. And then all the stampers in our group participate in the challenge, and I draw one winner to earn some free product that I give away. Good morning, Sandy and Trudy. Thanks for popping in, and Brenda. So this month's challenge was issued by my team member, Dawn. And maybe you've heard the term, good morning, Beth. Maybe you've heard the term OSW. And you're like, what? What is OSW? What does that mean? And then someone will say, oh, that means one sheet wonder. Well, that explains everything, doesn't it? And then you think, what in the world is a one-sheet wonder? So today I'm going to show you my one-sheet wonder and how I participated in that challenge, and can help show you how to use up some of your designer series paper using that term OSW. You know, in paper crafting, we all have some different terms that we don't always know the meaning of. So today we're going to explore that. Good morning, Kathy. Thanks for popping in. So I'm going to turn my camera down and show you what I've been working on for my team challenge. Just hang in there. See my awesome ceiling fan there. All right. So the one sheet wonder is where you take either a 12 by 12 or a 6 by 6 sheet of patterned paper. And those of you familiar with Stampin' Up! Know that we have a ton of really awesome designer series paper. And there's always has two sides. Most of it has two sides. Sometimes it's hard to decide which side to use. But the one sheet wonder has a couple of purposes. Good morning, Monica, and good morning, Wendy. Thanks for popping in. So it gives you inspiration to use that designer series paper that you've been hoarding. Paper hoarding is just a trademark of us paper crafters. We see all this really awesome paper and we have to have it, and then we don't use it because it is absolutely so beautiful. I mean, and look at me. This is my second package of this designer series paper that coordinates with Stampin' Up's Flowering Cactus product medley. Also, the one sheet wonder is a way to say that you're missing your crafting mojo and you really don't know what to start. You have this sheet of paper. It's like, but it's a blank sheet of paper. What do I do with it? So it gives us a place to start creating. And then once you have your design, you can tweak it or make a set of cards more quickly. So I thought about, I went to Pinterest because I didn't know what to cut it at. So I just picked, there are tons. So I picked this 6 by 6. So I started with that and cut it into pieces. And this one was inspired by Stamp Crazy with Allison and Stamps to Die For. So I first took this sheet of paper and I cut these off the edge at 1/2 inch by 3 inches. Then I cut the top 5.5 by 2. Then I cut that to 2 3/4 and then chopped those into 2 3/4 as well. And then this one's 5.5 by 1 1/4. Good morning, Veronica. Thanks for popping in. So I used that. I had all those little sheets out and thought, all right, now I need to make a set of cards with them. What am I going to do? And so with this, I tried to use as, I mean, I could have gotten out a ton of project products, but I wanted to keep with the medley, so I used the stamp set itself, the flowering cactus medley, along with its the coordinating die cuts, the designer series paper, and the linen thread that goes with it. So let me show you what I came up with. So this first card uses that 5.5 by 2-inch piece. And so I just put it on the Pear Pizzazz cardstock, added a stitch-shaped circle, as well as the die cuts and the sentiment. All right, so this card here uses this bottom piece, the 5.5 by 1.25 sheet. So I used just the thick basic white cardstock, did a little bit of sponging on it, sponged here, and used some of the die cuts and the stamps from the set along with the sentiment. So that's piece number 2 out of, let's see, we started with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sheets. All right. And then here's one that we're using with the 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 square. I had 2 of those to use. So layered it on some Calypso coral, used the stitch shape with the vellum. I used a marker to write, to color on that part of the sentiment. It just seemed, the other piece seemed too long. A die cut. This is the mossy meadow background in Pear Pizzazz Calypso coral. So I tried to stick with the coordinating colors from that medley to make it easy for me to create. So now I'll be able to look back and go, yeah, I liked what I did. Yeah, I didn't, and I can change it any way I want. Then the next piece was the other 2 3/4 piece that I have here. I tried something a little different using Versamark ink. I stamped the cactus in the background to so the background wasn't so plain. Layered that 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 square onto the Calypso coral, the linen thread, and the die cut. And I tried the sentiment down here, happy looks good on you, and I would do that a little bit differently the next time. But this was, sometimes when you create and craft like this, you just go with it and you try things. And if it doesn't work, you learn from it and you know what you like and what you want to do another time. So for me, the most difficult pieces to use were these right here, the 1.5 by 3. I must have moved them around on a sheet of paper for an hour before I started putting things together. But that's the challenge of it, and it's kind of fun to see what you can come up with. And if you go to Pinterest and look, there are all kinds of different suggestions on how to cut your paper and make that one sheet wonder. And you could even make your own. And I thought, why? I could have just made my own, but it's a challenge to see if you can make something from that. Good morning, Brittany. Thanks for popping in. So here's the card I used with those 2 little teeny pieces. So I layered them on the Mossy Meadow sheet, and then put the Calypso coral in the middle and added my cactus and a sentiment along with the linen thread. So I thought that was kind of fun. It kind of frames it, gives you that desert theme. Now we're going to make one of these, but let me just kind of remind you where we started. We started with that 6 by 6 that I cut into pieces. I will have this on my my blog later this week at kimplayswithpaper.com. And then these are the cards I created with the one sheet wonder. So I'll review that, and then I'll make a quick card to show you how one of them came together. So now that I'm a desert dweller, I moved from the Midwest to Arizona. I'm a huge cactus fan, and I can't wait to see, I think it's about time for some of those cactus to start blooming. Some of them might have already. So I'm really anxious to see to see those. So I'm going to make this card. I've started with the Pear Pizzazz base, and I've scored it, and I'll just fold it in half. Oh, but you know what? I've cut all these pieces, and I don't have any pieces for my project. So I guess I'll have to cut some. Sometimes all of our best laid plans go awry. So how I got that piece, I guess I can show you how I cut it. So I started by cutting the 1/2. Here's the Stampin' Trimmer. Maybe I'll scooch it up so you can see it. I found the 1/2 inch here, and I cut off those 2 little pieces. Then I cut those pieces in half at 3. And then the piece I want on the top is 5.5 by 2. So I'm going to cut this at 2. And the next one was at 2 3/4. And that's my last little piece. And then I cut that one into 2 3/4. So now I'm going to have to do another one sheet wonder and see how that turns out. So now I have all my pieces that I can use for that. So with the Calypso Coral, that just layers on there, and so that's at 5.5 by 2.5. That's why I love that grid paper. So I'll be able to put that together with my Stampin' Seal Plus. I'll just hook that to the back. So I don't know how many, if you guys have ever done a one sheet wonder, if you've heard that term. Again, it can also be done with the 12 by 12. I know I have a couple of my team members on here watching, and I know that at least one of them submitted an entry for the one sheet wonder. And I don't know how Sandy thought that, if it went fast, if it's challenging for sure. Good morning, Marlene. Thanks for popping in today. We're working on my one sheet wonder, one of the cards from there. Just putting it together with the flowering cactus product medley. That's in the January through June 2021 mini catalog. Oh, Kathy, you'll have to try it. Pick any of your designer series paper. I bet you have a stash of that too, right? We all have a stash of designer series paper. And then the one thing that's really cool about this flowering cactus medley is that the designer series paper has a sheet that you can die cut the cactus and the flowers. You can cut those directly from the designer series paper. So if you're in a hurry and you don't want to stamp, you can just die cut those. And so I wasn't actually in a hurry, but I had all the pieces laying around, so I figured why not use those instead of reinventing the wheel. And I keep a little stash of all the pieces. In case I'm making something like, oh, look, I have a flower, or look, I have this, I have that. Yes, show me a crafter who doesn't have like a stash of designer series paper. It's also pretty. It's like the one thing that I've been into lately is the glimmer paper, that rainbow glimmer paper. Oh my goodness, I bought some and then I didn't use it, and I took it out last week and thought, oh my. So I've been using that to do. Good morning, Zach. Thanks for joining us out of Minneapolis today. Popping in. I'll add the flowers to the cactus. And you see how easy this goes together. You could pop this up with dimensionals, or you could use adhesive. So I'm just going to throw some adhesive on it and put that right on the front. Now, of course, we need the sentiment. And I've got our little white scrap all ready to go. I'm always here for you, so this makes a really good thinking of you card. We can use those all the time. The coordinating colors in this, Calypso Coral, Pear Pizzazz, Mint Macaron, and Mossy Meadow. But I'm going to bring out that Calypso Coral from there. Good morning, Kathy. Thanks for popping in. And I'm just going to stamp that right here smack in the middle. Clean and simple card. A result of our One Sheet Wonder stamping today. I challenge you, go onto Pinterest, type in One Sheet Wonder samples and see what you find, and or design your own. And I know there's also a theory or a process called Love It, Chop It, but just get your paper chopped up and get it used. And then I'm just going to apply the actually, I did pop that other sentiment up, but you can do whatever you want. It's your card. So there we go. You can tell the difference that came from the DSP, and that one was stamped. But alrighty, just a quick review. Today we talked about the One Sheet Wonder using a 6x6 piece of Designer Series paper. Cut it up into those squares, and then challenged myself to make some quick and easy cards. Thanks, Beth. Thanks, Christine, for popping in. So I'll just kind of show you some of the ones we've already seen them, but I'll just review before I sign off for today. And then this was the last card with those two little pieces. And now I just have a stack of cards that I can send out and get in the mail to anybody. Again, thanks for popping in today. I'm here each Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. I'm right now, we're in the Pacific time zone. We don't actually change times, but that's what our time is. And you can look for me online at kimplayswithpaper.com. I also have a Pinterest board and a YouTube channel and a newsletter. So I appreciate you guys watching today. I hope you have a great day and a great week, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for popping in. Bye-bye.